Hello, 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 everybody. How you doing? Let's jump into it. It is Making Moves with Michael. You know it's Monday. Let's go. What's up, everybody? It is Making Moves with Michael. It is Monday. It is 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. I'm saying all of that because that's it, everybody. Every Monday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're joining me right here on LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube in my live Making Moves with Michael. What's the show about? Shows about different types of insights and frameworks on being able to help you as an entrepreneur in your journey. We're talking personal development, professional development, and all the stuff in between that. Could be on public speaking, could be on overcoming challenges, which we're going to be getting into today. And it's all to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. So today I put it out there about overcoming challenges. And the reason why I put that out there is because of some of the challenges that I'm facing. Now, the cool part is that the challenges I'm speaking about today are challenges that I've decided to take on. And so sometimes in personal development, when we're talking about overcoming challenges, we might be talking about challenges that are in front of us that we weren't expecting. Maybe they're an obstacle, maybe they're a failure, maybe they're a setback. Today, what I'm speaking about is taking on a challenge and how to succeed in it. So maybe the wording of overcoming a challenge wasn't exactly right, but I think it's correct for what we're trying to do because it is a challenge and we're trying to overcome it. We're trying to get past it, trying to break through that wall so we can get to the other side. And at the other side, it's amazing. So I chose a challenge. And before I get into the challenge I chose, well, why don't I share with you the challenge I chose, and then we're going to go back for a second here. I want to share with you the challenge I chose and why I'm wearing this shirt today. I chose to ride 105 miles. Let me rephrase that. I'm choosing to ride 105 miles to raise money and awareness for the people in Haiti. And that is our Pedal for Purpose cause. I'll speak more about it shortly. But before I do that, let me give you some context. Forgotten Children of Haiti was founded in 1993 by my parents and other family and community members. The Forgotten Children of Haiti, our organization, which is a non-for-profit, has been supporting a hospital, an orphanage, a school, and so much more in Haiti since those years, those early years. And today, I'm raising money for all of those causes. Father Rick Frechette, who's also a doctor, has dedicated his life to the people in Haiti. He's spent over 40 years in Haiti helping them. And even though the president is no longer there, he was assassinated about 3 years ago. And even though they have no true government in place, which many of us know if you follow the news, and even though gangs are running rampant and running the streets in Haiti, there is still hope. There are still people who need our help, who need our assistance. And Father Rick Frechette offers that. This isn't a religious thing in any way. It just so happens that he's a passionate priest and a doctor and is taking care of the people in Haiti. Those who come to him, he takes care of. He doesn't push anybody away to the point that recently he was kidnapped and his kidnappers brought them to their gang lord. And when they removed the mask, the gang lord said, Father Rick, or excuse me, probably called him Dr. Rick, took care of my gunshot wound. We cannot execute him. So Rick Frechette was there to rescue a nun. They walked out both alive. And it was because of the humanitarian work that he does in Haiti. And that is what Pedal for Purpose is supporting. It is supporting the humanitarian work that Rick Frechette is doing in Haiti. It is called Pedal for Purpose, and it's a challenge that came to me. It's a challenge that I've decided to accept in my life to ride over 100 miles. So let me give you the outline to all of this. I've never ridden more than 25 miles on my bicycle outside. That's not exactly true. I think I've done like 27, 28, but that's the number that came to mind in this moment. I've never done more than 30, that's for sure. So definitely like around 25 to 27 miles. I've never done outside on an outdoor bike. On an indoor bike, maybe I've come close to that, but never more than 30. Let's put it that way, right? So I've never done anywhere near a Century ride. I don't have the equipment. I don't have the gear for a Century ride. When I met with a friend of mine, Tom from Talix Media, I met with him. He's an Ironman. He is an Ironman who is competing at an international level and was invited to compete in Nice. So he knows his stuff. And when I met with him, I don't have the proper gear. So I had to invest in some of the gear in order to even ride the 100 miles, let alone the exercise and the work, that hard work that I have to do physically to be able to endure the 100 miles. So, what is this about? This whole overcoming challenges? Well, the thing is, and this is where I wanted to start with all of us. So, I kind of gave you a little bit of a backdrop as to why I'm speaking about it. And if you want to join Pedal for Purpose, by the way, we are looking for sponsors, riders, and donors. So, Pedal for Purpose is right on my website. The links will be in the comments below. But here's what I want to start with. Sometimes in life, we're called for challenges. We're called to a higher level, and we just have to accept it. So this is why I wanted to be very clear as to, I'm not talking about the challenges or the obstacles that come in our way when we're doing something. I'm going to see a lot of that in my ride. I'm not talking about the ones that we're not expecting. I'm talking about taking on the challenges as a choice. That's what I'm speaking about today. Is sometimes there are challenges in front of us that we have to accept. We have to accept them not because they're easy, but as John F. Kennedy said, because they are hard. These are challenges that are calling for us. My mentor, my virtual mentor, Brendan Burchard, says when you have a challenge in front of you that you have to take on, it's because there's a higher calling. It's calling you to it. And that's what happened with this ride for me. I was riding with my good friend. We were raising money for Family Services, which is a local non-for-profit. We were raising money for this non-for-profit, and we started a group together called the Riding Renegades. And we were on a nice long ride. It was under 30 miles, by the way. And Dave turned to me and he said, Michael, I have this dream to ride my bike down to New York City. This is from Poughkeepsie, New York to New York City. It's over 100 miles. And I said, Dave, that's your dream, man. It's not mine. But after that ride, and after thinking about the different things in my life and the ways that I could impact others, and of course, Forgotten Children of Haiti being near and dear to my heart, I thought, if I could do a fundraiser for Haiti and I guess meet the need of my friend Dave, who's riding with me right now, and put those together, that's enough of a purpose for me to ride over 100 miles. So that challenge kind of called me and allowed me to put it together. I started talking about it. I announced it on my birthday on January 12th. And then I've been working on it ever since, from riding and exercising to putting together all the planning and background work. And now we have a landing page for it, which is Pedal for Purpose. We have a bike reg page so that you can go and register. And by the way, 100% of proceeds in terms of your registration and donations are all going to Forgotten Children of Haiti, which all of that goes to Rick Frechette in Haiti to be able to support the people in Haiti, really the hospital work and the education and the orphanage that he takes care of. So how do I do this? How do I take on this challenge that called me and that I had no gear for, I had no preparation for, I've never come close to it? How do I take on this challenge that in some ways is just a drop in the bucket? The founder of Kayak, I can't remember his name, but when I read his book, I learned he donated over hundreds of millions of dollars to the efforts in Haiti. Hundreds of millions of dollars. And here I am trying to raise $30,000. What impact will it make? Here's the impact that it'll make. It is a ripple effect. It is a ripple effect of kindness and love and generosity, of me and Dave at the gym and meeting with others, of sharing this word with you, of that we can change the world by simple, small acts. And by learning that $30,000 can go a long way for the people in Haiti. I just read one of Rick Frechette's daily posts, and in it, he spoke about having to sell one of his dump trucks, having to sell their peanut butter maker. Oh, yeah. They make their own peanut butter. And he actually had to sell that machine in order to keep the lights on, the proverbial lights on, at the hospital and the orphanage and the school. So while hundreds of millions of dollars may have been donated and used and spent, and here I am trying to raise $30,000, I know it will make an impact because my friend in Haiti is selling dump trucks and ways to make food. And he's saying now we're just going to have to hand churn the peanuts to make our peanut butter. So, all that being said, how do I take on this challenge, everyone? And think about this for yourself. And I'd love to hear this in the comments or see this in the comments. What's a challenge that's calling you? Remember what I said. I'm not talking about a challenge or an obstacle that's in front of you. I'm going to see those on my ride. It's going to get hard 5 miles in, 50 miles in. It's going to get hard. I'm going to see challenges. There's going to be something go wrong. Someone gets hungry. Something's going to happen. Those are obstacles and challenges on this side here. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about your calling. What is happening in your world today that's calling you to a higher level? That's saying, okay, where you're at is great, but you need to push. You need to pull. You need to bring it in and you need to step up another level. I'm so curious. I want to know what is happening in your world today that's doing that. Put it in the comments. So, how will I overcome this challenge? Well, I came to you with a framework and it's simple. It's overcome. It's a very simple one way to remember it. I have my notes on my left-hand side, so you'll see me glance over there so I can stay on track for you and kind of wrap this up in the next 10 minutes. So, overcome framework. This is what I've been using, not knowingly, quite honestly, because I come up with these frameworks on Mondays for you, but it resonates with me because I've been using it. So, the first one is own the challenge. You have to own it. You see it clearly. It's in front of you. So for me, the challenge was I'm going to ride over 100 miles down to New York City and back in order to raise $30,000 for the people in Haiti, for Forgotten Children of Haiti. It's our Pedal for Purpose ride. I owned that. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I didn't know how to prepare for it or plan for it, but I knew that that's the challenge and I put it out there. So you got to own your challenge. You got to see it and own it. My friend Dave and I were riding this morning. We were talking, and I said to him, Dave, man, I don't know about this, how we're going to be able to make it. There's going to be this, there's going to be that. And I love what he said to me. And I apologize for all of you out there who might not be in the Christian faith or anything. I don't say that I'm Christian or Catholic or anything like that. I was raised that way. So that's more what's around me. But I probably am more spiritual than I am religious, but this really resonated with me. He said, Michael, he goes, how many trees did Noah have to plant to build the ark? And I said, as far as I know, none. And he goes, that's right. He goes, all that God said to him was build that ark. And all he could do was just take what's around him and build it. And that was it. And I was thinking about that. I was like, oh, that's true, right? So all the gear, all the stuff, it'll come. All the stuff I need, everything I need, it will come. It will come. But I got to own the challenge. I got to know what it is. The next one is visualize success. Ooh, I love this one. I would save this one for last if it wasn't part of the overcome framework that I'm trying to share with you today. Every day that I ride, I see myself at the starting point and at the end point. I see myself with my friend Dave riding. I see the other riders around us. I see us going the 100 miles together. I can literally see our destination in Battery Park, New York. I can see it right now as I'm saying it to you. I can see our reception. I can see the table set up and the people that are going to be there to receive us when we're done with our 100 miles. And I see the donation dollars. I'll be honest with you, I don't necessarily see $30,000 because that's a hope for me that we can get there. But I definitely see donation dollars coming in. I know that we're going to get over $1,000. I know that we'll get over $3,000. And in past experience, I know that we'll get over $5,000. That's my hurdle right there. Is $5,000. I got to get over that. That's one of my challenges on the other side that I have to overcome, that I have to work towards in order to get to that 30K. So we got to visualize it. You got to see it. The next one is evaluate your options. So in the overcome framework, evaluate your options. So break it down into manageable steps. Tony Robbins says, don't eat the whale in one bite, break it down into chunks. So I got a 100-mile ride. You better believe I'm not doing 100 miles every day, everyone, right? I'm breaking it down. I started a couple weeks ago with 10-mile rides. Now I'm up to 15, 20-mile rides. And Dave and I are planning a 30 and a 50-mile ride to go out together. So we're breaking it into chunks. I've done research on different bikes and different gear, and I've spoken with my friend Tom and the bike shops, and Dave and I have gone to these different shops to check out, to check out the bikes and check out the gear and make sure that this is the right stuff for us. We didn't just go there and just lay out a bunch of money and say, here's our bikes and here's our helmets and here's the stuff that we need. We researched it. We evaluated all of our options to see what's right for us. Which ones do we want to go with? So evaluate your options for this challenge. Next one, rely on your resources and support. And I just mentioned it to you. I'm relying on my resources and support. I rely on my friend Katie, who is also I call her my director of marketing, who helps me put together the idea, put it in a thoughtful way that I can express it so that people can understand it and really resonate with others. How about my coach Merritt, a Master of One Coaching, who helps me really get into the right mindset to be able to do this work and see how this work affects my business and affects my community and really goes into all of my values. Then my other friend, I'm going to give a couple of shout outs here because they've helped me. My friend Craig Chapman, who owns a coffee shop in New Paltz and owns New Paltz Kayak and New Paltz Bikes, who gave me an hour of his time to hear about Pedal for Purpose in its development stage and offer different ideas and strategies in order to make it a better ride, in order to make it a ride that true cyclists would be involved and engaged in order to make it a ride that can actually raise the $30,000 that I'm looking to raise. And then my friend Tom Langan, Talix Media, who set time aside as well to coach me and help me understand what a 100-mile ride means and what's needed in it, who then took my phone calls and texts to better understand the bikes that I need to look at and that I need to purchase, and who helped me make the right purchase for me in terms of my bicycle. So you have to rely on these resources. I also want to give a shout out to Paul, a friend of mine who I met at the gym and put me in touch with other people for permits and different ways on the rail trail in order for us to be able to do this the right way. I'm not doing this alone. I have a community of people who are supporting me. And it's because I'm relying on my resources and support. The C in this, in overcome, create an action plan. You see, it's a great idea, this 100-mile ride. It's a great idea to raise $30,000. But without a plan of how this is going to take place, of when certain things have to be executed, it won't happen. And so Katie and I and Merritt and I, we've been working on this through my 12-week in a year plan of let's get these certain steps done in 12 weeks. And so far we've been chugging along. So we've put together an action plan of when do we want the bike reg site up? When do we want the landing page site up? When do we get the sponsors? When do we get the riders? All of this has been planned out. It's never perfect, by the way, everyone. I'm not hitting my mark on everything at the perfect time, but we're moving along following a plan. And we can look back and say, here's what we missed and here's what we need to make up for, or here's something we need to add to the plan. And that's actually what's happened. We've changed the plan several times because we have to have adaptability. The next one, overcome. Overcome setbacks. So, of course, there's going to be challenges in the way. There's going to be setbacks. I spoke about them before. You have to overcome those. You have to see them for what they are, accept them for what they are, and move forward. So part of my training regimen has been to ride 10 to 15 miles and then 15 miles to 20 miles. And I have two setbacks that have happened to me recently. On Thursday night of last week, I got a concussion. You can't see it, but I got slammed in the face while trying to draw a charge at a basketball game. Guy hit me with his elbow right up the nose, right up the face, and I had a concussion. And so for 3 days, I couldn't train. I couldn't exercise. I didn't feel like myself. I was hurt. So I couldn't train. And that was very upsetting to me because I have a regimen that I'm in. But I have to adapt to those. I had to think of different ways that I can really execute on this. What else can I do if I'm not going to be able to exercise and train? What are some of the other things that I can do? And I had to look at that. Our stationary bike that we have here at our house broke on me yesterday. I'm riding, I'm pedaling, and it broke. I didn't get upset or frustrated. I had to stop. I had to see how if I could fix it. Turns out I couldn't fix it. It's a minor problem. So I jumped back on and I did another half hour. You got to see those setbacks and those challenges, accept them for what they are, and decide as to what you're going to do to overcome them. For my concussion, I decided to rest because that's what I needed. For the bike being broken, it's broken. The only thing I can do is break it anymore, and that doesn't matter anymore because the thing's pretty much shot. So let me finish up my ride. We're almost at the end here. Maintain resilience. Now, this is something that I'm doing every single day. I have a ride coming up on May 31st. That's when we're riding 105 miles in our Pedal for Purpose in order to raise $30,000 for the people in Haiti. I have to maintain this level of energy, this level of commitment. So every day I have to do things and think about things that are motivating me to do this. And quite honestly, it's not hard. Because when I think of my people in Haiti, when I think of the people in Haiti who are suffering, who are living in a place where they're sleeping on floors, on dirt floors, where they have nothing, that's motivation enough to do everything I can to raise this 30 grand. It's motivation enough to say I could ride 10 miles, 20 miles, 100 miles. I'd ride 100 miles every day of the week if it would help save them. So we have to maintain that level. We have to maintain that resilience of pushing through the hard times, of getting over the hump and knowing what our cause is. What's that challenge in front of us? Why is it in front of us? And we have to go for it. We have to be resilient in our efforts. And our last one, execute and elevate. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, everyone. So I'm talking about resilience. I'm saying meet this challenge, keep going, strive for it, go for it. And it's going to be hard, but you're going to elevate. You're going to go to another level. Because when you meet that challenge and you get to the other side, that's elevation. You've now gone from this level to that level. You've gone up no matter what. Even if you failed at it, even if you go into the 100-mile ride and you end at 50 because you just couldn't make it, your bike broke, your leg broke, whatever happened, you still elevated. You still met the challenge where it was at. You still saw it in the face. That's still success, everyone. I want you to recognize that when you take on a challenge, right there in itself is part of the elevation. So execute the challenge, do the work. Every day, Dave and I are working. Every day, the other people who I don't know who they are quite yet are working and striving and doing what they can in order to ride 105 miles with us. So you have to execute that challenge, see it where it's at. And when you meet that challenge, you're going to level up. You're going to go to another level. And I'll leave you with this. I was at the gym with Dave and we were talking about the bikes that he and I just purchased for this ride because we had to get new bikes for it. It's just what we had to do. And I said, the choice that I made on the bike that I got is because I said to him, I think I'm going to be doing more rides like this. I actually plan on doing more Century rides for different non-for-profits that I'm aware of. I have a good friend out there, Mike McClay, shout out to him, who does a ride for his father. His father who passed away of cancer, does a cancer ride. And so that might be something that's on my checklist now of another ride that I want to be a part of. So I know already that I'm elevating because I never did a Century ride. Remember, everybody, under 30 miles is the most I've ever done. And I'm committing to a 100-mile ride. And here I am checking off the box for more of them. And it's because I'm elevating. I'm here because I've elevated, everyone. I couldn't do Making Moves with Michael a year ago. I'm doing them today because I've elevated. What can you elevate on? I want to thank you for joining me today on Making Moves with Michael. If you want to be a part of Pedal for Purpose, just go to my website. It's super easy. It's right there on the homepage, michaelespositoinc.com. It'll also be in the comments. Pedal for Purpose. We are looking to raise $30,000 for the people in Haiti because they need us. That's why. Because they need us. Thanks for watching, everybody. Stay happy and stay healthy. And I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone.